actually saw that and looked that up, we'd realise, but we don't. We just take it as face value and just hand it over when it's asked for, and so it is our fault. And so we don't want to blame anybody, because this, Batman method is a no blame, no blame method. So we don't want to blame anyone, because it is really our fault.
Yeah.
We just want to clear it up. That's what we're there for, just to clear it up. We're the flesh and blood. That paperwork in front of you represents Wendy, the name.
Yeah.
And that's it, sort it out. And where's the proper notice bit? There's been no meeting of the minds. We haven't been able to get together and discuss this and sort this out. Where have we been able to do that along the line?
Yeah.
We just get letters and we phone them all and they say, no, you've got to pay, no, you've got to pay, no, you've got to pay, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it, and we've had no proper notice, no proper meeting of the minds to say, this is who I am. I'm just a peaceful inhabitant.
Yeah.
And, nothing to do with that.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, that sounds all really, really nice and actually logical in a lot of ways. So, you've got this matter, and as you said, now you've started to walk and talk about now the mistake, I think, as part of that. And am I right in saying that, or have I made a mistake?
Yeah, the mistake is claiming the name as personal identification.
But
you don't want to blame anybody, so you just said, if there's been a mistake. So
you'd assume at this stage that they've made an honest mistake. And you've made an honest mistake.
No, it's you that's made the mistake, really.
Okay.
Not them.
No.
They're just doing what they've been told to do by you, and because they haven't been told any different.
Right.
Basically.
Okay, I follow. So it is you that makes, but again, it's an honest mistake, because not everybody has this information yet, but we're going to make sure that they have it.
It's a mistake that can be forgiven. Yeah. And once it's forgiven, anything that's gone previous to that, prior to that forgiveness, is forgotten.
Good. It's forgiven and forgotten.
Yeah.
Forgive and forget. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. It's all Bible orientated. The world is run by the Bible. That's how it is run. Jesus in the Bible is a free man, and he teaches the people how to be free men on the land. That's what Jesus is in the Bible.
Okay.
He tells you not to go to court. He tells you not to use the name. He tells you all of these things in the Bible. And everything around this world is Bible orientated. And you could say that the Queen is acting as God in the world, because she's the one that gives, everything away free, for us to use. Like God gave dominion over the land to use everything. The Queen is acting in that role on this land, in this world.
Yeah, as a God-given role, so to speak.
Yeah, to give to us, to give to us, not to take from us.
Okay.
But because we're on the other side of that, we're the enemy.
Yeah.
And we're pirating the name. It's identity theft. So according to the government, we're terrorists or potential terrorists, because somebody's out there using the name, claiming the name, and in a way that's not supposed to be claimed. So until they, know what's going on with that name, you're a potential terrorist. Yeah. And you ID theft, and you're a pirate, and so they're coming after you, and they'll keep coming after you, and they'll come after you more and more and more until, and each time they come after you, it's a little wake-up call for you to realise what you're doing, and to wake up to what you're doing, and to sort it out. So the more they come after you, the closer you are really to waking up, because they're taking everything away from you and leaving you with nothing. Like in the Bible, you have nothing.
Yeah.
Jesus had nothing, but he got everything he needed to use. So that's why, the more that they're coming after you, the more, the closer you are to realising, because they're going to take everything away from you. Yeah,
that is happening, isn't it? I mean, unless, I'll tell you what, we're going to get into this in a minute. So, we've covered the matter, we've covered the mistake, and now the third one there you mentioned was, where is the proper notice? What's all that about?
Yeah, Well, like I said, I did say that it's the meeting of the minds where you get together and you say to, you know, them, who's liable for the name. You find out these things. Now, when you say to, say, a judge who's liable for the name, he's not going to answer you, but it has to be accepted that you're not, because he hasn't answered you, he hasn't said you are.
So have you put this to a judge then?
Yes, I have, yes.
And he didn't answer, or he did?
No, he didn't answer, no.
He didn't answer. He didn't say anything at all, did he?
Pardon?
He didn't say anything at all?
No, he didn't say anything at all, no.
So there was a very uncomfortable silence there for half an hour or something, was there?
Well, no, not really. He just said, is there anything else that you'd like to say, or something like that. Whenever he couldn't answer a question, he asked me if there's anything else I'd like to say.
Right. So he just evaded trying to answer the question. Okay.
But then that evasion is tacit acceptance.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't say it, and it's true, you know, I'm not liable for the name.
He wasn't just sort of pondering.
No, he didn't answer the question.
He didn't answer the question. Yeah, obviously, because he asked you another question then. So
that's the way it works. When you go to court, it looks as if it's going against you.
Now, just for clarity again, and this is for the listeners as much as it is for Wendy and myself, is that myself and Wendy are having a discussion here about what Wendy has done and where she's at, and where she tells in more detail as we go on what the whole process was that she went through. We're not saying that this is for everybody either. Would I be right in saying that, Wendy?
Yeah, that's it. Some people it doesn't resonate with some people at all, so they're not in the right place and they're not ready for it.
And again, Wendy had certain results, and Wendy is prepared to move with the results she's getting and keep going, whereas other people don't get the same results as Wendy. They capitulate and end up where they end up. And Wendy is where she's at because she hasn't capitulated, she hasn't stopped, she's just the road and the path that you're on, Wendy, and you're determined to reach certain conclusions, I suppose, and you tell us about that as well. So we talked about the matter, the mistake, and where the proper notice is in terms of getting together, you know, meeting of the minds, as you called it, and then the final corner here is, what was it? What did you say?
I want to deal with the matter honourably.
Okay, so what does that mean, Wendy? You want to deal with the matter honourably?
What that basically means is to deal with something in honour is to deal with something so nobody is injured. There's no injured party.
Okay.
So I don't want to be injured. I want to still live in this home.
Yeah.
The bank don't want to be injured, so they want their account zeroed out.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And the judge sitting there, who belongs to the Crown and who is a banker, is the one that can deal with that matter by zeroing out the account from the bank and allowing me to use this property. They will get the full title then of the property.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy and nobody's injured.
And there's nobody's chasing anybody for any debt or trying to lock somebody up or...
Right. Okay. Nobody's claimed anything off anybody and everybody's happy. Okay,
well that leads us nicely on to where you currently are at the moment. And just for the recap for the listeners, so you talked about dealing with the matter, the mistake, and where the proper notice is, i.e. meeting of the minds, and then dealing with the matter honourably and fairly, so that everybody isn't injured. Okay, so you're still in your home at the moment, is that right?
Yes.
Because of this process that you've talked about, the four corners?
100% because of this process.
Okay, so you went to court then, as you said, on the 19th or 20th of October, and...
No, I went to court on the 20th of September.
Sorry, beg your pardon, 20th of September. So take us from there, Wendy, go on to the court.
Okay. I went to court on the 20th of September. And, excuse me.
Okay, take your time.
Oh, excuse me.
You want to get a glass of water?
On the 20th of September, and I did the four cornerstones. I made a bit of a mess of it. I was a bit nervous, you know.
Yep.
A nervous place to be in.
Yep.
And I did make a bit of a mess of it, but I redeemed myself in the end, because to redeem yourself, you don't have to get it completely right. You've just got to get it right, and the last thing I said to the judge was that there's been a mistake.
Okay.
So that starts the whole process again, so nothing can be done.
Okay.
And I've said that, so basically, like I said, when you tell them there's been a mistake, everything before gets forgiven, so anything I said wrong within that court case,
that was your,
will be forgiven.
There is a mistake, was that your parting sentence, we'll say, when you left the court?
Yeah, because he determined in the end that I was the name.
Yeah.
So I asked him where the evidence of that is, and he gave me a piece of crappy paper, a letter that I'd allegedly written. Yeah. And I just said, that's a mistake, there's been a mistake, and I just handed it back to him, and that was the last thing he said. So, and I asked him to forgive me for anything that I may have done, and he said, thank you for that. And then I left. So the piece can I just go back to the piece of paper, because people get confused by this as well, because they sometimes believe that when somebody hands you a piece of paper, it's got some sort of authority. Yeah. Yeah, and I think somebody said it to me now, and the listeners can correct me on this, but when somebody hands you a piece of paper, it's common, what's called a common law writ. Yeah. Okay, and as you rightly did there, you handed it back to him. You didn't keep it. So you never keep anything. Don't even take it off him. I'd say, don't even show me that. It's nothing to do with me. That's what I do now. I did it wrong in there. I did things wrong while I was in the court, Now I know better. I would have said, don't show me that. Nothing to do with me. That's not my name. I don't want to see it. It's not data protected information. Okay. Now, right, I'll assume, and I actually don't know this story proper. You were in court on the 20th of September. Why were you invited to go to court? Because there was arrears on the mortgage. Okay. And they were alleging that I had to pay it. Okay, and you were... They claimed, that I had to pay it. That it belonged to me, that it belonged to me. So I turned up to clarify that it's nothing to do with me. I'm the flesh and blood. There's the name, sort it out. Okay. And did the judge say, yeah, we'll sort that out for Wendy, bye? No, not at all, no. What happens is, what you've got to remember about everything that's going on is they're there to protect the public. That's what they're there for. Yeah, okay. They don't want chaos. They don't want riots in the street. They just want everybody to come over to that side individually and peacefully. Okay. So, obviously, if this information got out in the mainstream all at once, everybody would go absolutely berserk, and there would be chaos in the world. Why? Why do you say that? Why do you say that? There would be chaos. What would lead to chaos? Because when you're going through this process and you start to wake up to what's been going on in the world, people get angry. Yes. Everybody goes through an angry stage. Yep. And the whole process of all of this is to take you through that anger and bring you out on the other end as a peaceful inhabitant. And that's what it does. If you don't get stuck in the anger stage, which a lot of people are getting stuck in that anger stage, and they need to just dip in and out of all of these things, gain an understanding of what's going on, and think, yeah, okay, I understand that now. Here's another thing. I understand that now. Here's another thing, and just keep going with it. And eventually, you'll lose all of the anger, all of the stress that you've got. It will disappear and dissolve, and you'll just end up with peace and love in your heart. And that's what it's all there for. That's what it's out there for, to take us through that process. And then eventually everybody will be in peace. All the wars will stop, and the world will be a lovely place to be in. It'll be lovelier. Yeah. So they're protecting the public. Yeah. That's what they're doing. They don't want this information out there. They're not going to say to me, yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying. No problem, you can live in that house. Here's the order to say you can live in that house. I go on the internet and put that order up, and everybody goes into chaos. Yeah, they're not doing that. What they do is take you through the whole process. They take that name through the whole process of repossession. So he ordered the judgment for the plaintiff for the balance. Yeah. And he ordered possession in 28 days. Okay. He didn't say possession off me. He didn't say anything about that.
Right. Okay.
He ordered the judgment of the balance to the plaintiff, and that means that they're going to get the balance, but outside of that judgment,